ABC 13 Eyewitness News starts now.
And we begin with breaking urgent news tonight. Exclusive cell phone video capturing the moments a suspected killer was seen running away from the scene of his crime. Deputies say the man senselessly gunned down an AC repairman working on a unit outside a home.
An active search for the suspect happening right now in southwest Harris County.
ABC 13's Brianna Connor is live gathering the newest information. Brianna?
There is still a lot going on tonight in this West Bend community in Alief. Police are trying to find the person who shot and killed an AC repairman on the job. His van is still out here. I'm going to step out of the way and set the scene for you a little bit. We have seen plenty of detectives out here speaking with neighbors. We know there were a lot of people home when this happened, and they've got their equipment set up in this taped off area here that you're looking at. We're told the home with the two cars in the driveway is where this shooting happened. They're out here with their flashlights as well, taking a look at evidence here at the scene. We still don't know what the motive was in this shooting. But as mentioned, a lot of people were home when this happened. I spoke with people who did not want to appear on camera because the suspect is still on the loose, but they told me they heard at least 5 loud gunshots. We're told that two young men who were inside that house came out and found the repairman after he had been shot. They flipped him over. They allowed him to make a phone call, we're told, to his family members to let them know what was going on. And then many neighbors out here, either on their cell phones or on their Ring cameras, their surveillance videos, caught images of the suspect. We want to show that to you again. He's described as a black man around 5'9" or 5'10" with an afro hairstyle. He was wearing red pants and a black T-shirt. So that is the person police are looking for in connection with this shooting. Many of the neighbors out here that I spoke with off camera told me they are spooked by this. They say most of the things that happen in this neighborhood are speeding and things like that. Nothing to this degree, to this type of crime and violence in their community. A lot of them telling me they likely will not sleep tonight, and they will be very uncomfortable in this community until this man has been caught. That's what we know right now. No information again about the motive or who the AC repairman is. We'll keep working to find more details as the night goes on. Live in Alief, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Brianna, hopefully somebody phones in a tip. Thank you for the update there. Also breaking tonight at 10, an arrest made in connection to the death of 2 Woodland High School seniors. This man, Abdul Bait Adewale, is behind bars tonight, accused of dealing drugs laced with fentanyl to 17-year-old Gregory Blodgett and 18-year-old Irene Sutherland. Both students died of an overdose on May 5th. Fentanyl was found in the toxicology reports. The suspect has a history in Montgomery County. He faced 3 charges of possession of a controlled substance last year, but completed a program and the charges were dismissed.
Tonight, new cell phone video shows a prison bus off the side of the road in a patch of grass. A dangerous inmate was on that bus when he assaulted a correctional officer and took off running. It happened near Highway 7, a little over a mile away from I-45 in Leon County. Now, this is Gonzalo Lopez, and he is the inmate that authorities are searching for tonight. He was serving a life sentence for both capital murder and attempted capital murder. If you see him, you're being asked to immediately call 911.
Well, tonight, new information about this young man's condition right here. 12-year-old Cordero Stevenson was asleep in his living room overnight when he was shot. A stray bullet shot outside of the home into the home where he was sleeping. ABC 13's Jessica Willey live in the medical center after speaking to his mother and getting an update on how he's doing. Jessica.
Yeah, Eric, the 12-year-old is here in the medical center recovering after surgery tonight. We met with his mother, who tells us nothing vital was hit, but doctors are going to leave the bullet in to prevent any further possible damage. She is still in shock. A barrage of bullets, she says, came flying into their apartment when they were sleeping early this morning. Take a listen. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says 80 to 100 rounds were fired outside a club on Alabonson on the northwest side around 2:30 this morning. And right across the street from that club are the Inwood Grove apartments. 12-year-old Cordero Stevenson was asleep on the couch in the living room in his first floor apartment. His 8-year-old brother right next to him, their mother in the bedroom when everyone was shaken awake.
There was nowhere for us to run. It was coming straight through everywhere. I don't even think the floor was, that safe at that point. And I'm telling everybody to get down on the floor, get on the floor. My youngest child got on the floor, but he was asleep, so he's waking up saying, "Mama, I can't move." And I seen him trying, but he said, "Mama, I can't move." So I had to move the cover. When I moved the covers, that's when I realized that my son was shot.
Oh, what a frightening discovery. Investigators recovered pistols and at least one assault rifle. They said a neighbor's surveillance camera obviously caught that sound of the gunfire, but also images of possible suspects. As many as 5 people may have been involved. The boy's mother says she hopes whoever is responsible is brought to justice. Anyone with information is urged to call the sheriff's office, but let's leave it tonight on a positive note. 12-year-old Cordero, a 6th grader, is going to recover, but it's going to take some time. We're live tonight in the medical center. Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
So glad to hear he'll recover. Thank you, Jessica. Well, new tonight at 10, tough conversations between residents on the north side and the Salvation Army as the nonprofit plans to repurpose a men's shelter that was closed down. That men's shelter blamed by many for the crime in the neighborhood. In fact, it's where the man who killed 11-year-old Josue Flores was living at the time of the murder. ABC 13 reporter Shelley Childers is live now with the breakdown of what is next. Shelley?
Gina, the Salvation Army Greater Houston is quick to say they are not reopening the men's shelter that used to be here at their Main Street location near Quitman. Instead, they'll be repurposing this massive site. The building will now house the administration, acting as the new headquarters. They'll also provide a Boys and Girls Club, a public chapel, community meeting rooms, counseling, and services for veterans and young adults. This will also be where they prepare and package food that's distributed across Greater Houston.
The overwhelming complaint or concern is that we're reopening a shelter, and that seems to be a little confusing, although we've made it quite clear that we are not sheltering anyone overnight or providing free food at this facility.
But it is also clear that the families who live nearby still do not trust the organization. Following years of crime, they say, that came from clients who were at the men's shelter and who weren't allowed inside the shelter during the day. Instead, they say they were loitering outside in the community. And then, of course, the 11-year-old killing of 11-year-old Josue Flores. He was stabbed more than 20 times by a man who was staying at the shelter.
That really did hurt me, because I wouldn't want that to happen to my grandson and no other kid in the neighborhood. I'm sorry, but I think about it and I just break down.
So rebuilding the relationship between this Northside community and this nonprofit is still going to take quite some time. The organization says they plan to have 24/7 security when they do open back up. This building and this entire site will be under construction for an entire year beginning in September. They're reopening with that reimagined purpose here off of Main Street near Quitman in September 2023. Reporting live from the north side, Shelley Childers, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Shelley, thank you for the update right there. Also tonight, the death toll linked to the Astroworld Festival now sits at 11. ABC 13 learned of the new death after a lawsuit was filed by an Ohio couple. They claim their unborn child died after its mother, Shanizia Williamson, was trampled and crushed at the concert. Right now, it's unclear how long after the concert Williamson miscarried, but an updated case filing took place in December of 2021. Before today, 10 deaths were linked to the Astro World Festival. Also, an update to a story we brought you last night at 10. The family of a woman found dead in the trunk of her own car, pleading for answers tonight. Angela Mitchell was a 24-year-old mother of 4. She went missing last Friday, and her family says not much was done.
I did everything I thought I could do possible. I just couldn't get nobody to listen to me. Texas City wouldn't listen to me. They kept sending me back and forth between Dickinson, where she resided, and here, where she went missing from.
Well, frustrated with the lack of attention her daughter's case was getting, Angela's mother did her own digging. She traced her car to the corner of 4th Street North and MLK in Texas City, but says police would not search it. It sat there for days until a neighbor reported a foul smell coming from the trunk.
Living hell. I'm just absolutely devastated and heartbroken. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I just can't. It's a whole lot.
And so far, Texas City police have only sent out a press release saying they don't know the cause of death yet and did not list any information about a suspect. Well, 28 years ago, a 16-year-old student athlete never made it home, and her killer has never been caught. Our investigation helped solve 4 cold case murders, and maybe you can help solve a 5th.
Tomorrow marks 28 years since a 16-year-old high school basketball star was murdered while walking to school. Trella Sykes was strangled and raped in Sunnyside just minutes after leaving her grandmother's house.
Yeah, and for those 28 years, police have been working to find her killer. Houston police reached out to our Courtney Fisher, whose series, Unsolved, remembers the missing and murdered whose stories have faded from the headlines.
Who killed Trellis and why? Here's Courtney.
Friday, her badly beaten body was found in this overgrown field.
It was really hard. Really, really hard.
She'd apparently taken a shortcut on her way to school that morning, a shortcut that cost her life.
When the forensics people came and they brought her body out, her leg was hanging and we seen the tennis shoe, and that's how we knew it was her. My mama just broke down. It broke us all down. Never forget it. Never. Ever.
Pamela Sykes still struggles talking about that day, even 28 years later. Her niece, Trellis, was the star of the family. Trellis was going places, and basketball was taking her there.
The girl could run, she could jump, she could shoot, and I tell you, and you could not intimidate her.
Friends called her Tree. At nearly 6 feet, Trellis towered over most girls her age, but her size was about the only intimidating thing about her. Trellis was kind, quiet.
She kept everybody happy. She was a happy girl. She had a happy life.
May 13th, 1994. Trella Sykes took this shortcut to get to Worthing High School. She took it most days. A lot of kids did. But it looked a lot different back in '94. The whole field was overgrown. Weeds more than 8 feet tall covered the lot. Weeds the community had begged the city to cut down. Weeds that hid the killer, police say, as he watched and waited.
This is where the blitz occurred. This is where the suspect approaches her. This is where he pins her down. This is where he forces her to comply. And unfortunately, this is where she died.
Trellis fought like hell, Detective Darkus Shorten says. She broke nails as she clawed, trying to get away from her attacker. The teen was hit in the head, then raped and strangled. Her killer seemingly disappeared into the neighborhood.
Having someone with that strength and power, if she tried to scream, they wouldn't hear her.
I didn't leave my house for 2 months. It was scary. Didn't know who this person was.
School almost stopped. It really did. The students were so torn up about it. Reality set in on them that this could well enough happen to them, just like it happened to Trellis.
As friends and family packed into Christian Hope Baptist Church, praying and crying over the white casket with pink roses.
Your dying will not be in vain, baby.
There was an uneasiness. Not only was Trellis's killer still out there, stories about attacks on women and girls in Sunnyside started circulating. No one knew what to believe.
So many rapes going on in the area, and we had no clue.
Did you know at the time in Sunnyside that there were several women and girls who had been raped in that same area where
Yes,
Trellis?
I did. Yes,
You had
I
heard
did,
about that.
because I grew up in Sunnyside.
We started investigating this story to find Trellis's killer. What we found was 11 other women and girls were sexually assaulted over the course of the 16 months before Trellis's murder, within a few miles of her attack.
It was just an odd coincidence. This wasn't a coincidence. The ladies would all describe kind of the same titty shoes, height.
20 years would pass. Herman Whitfield was eventually found guilty of sexually assaulting 4 women in that neighborhood.
We wanted those women to know that we believed them. We are women, we believe them.
Whitfield is serving 4 life sentences. Detectives believe he's linked to more than 20 Sunnyside rapes. He is not a suspect in Trellis's murder. He's a person of interest, though. Someone these detectives have stayed interested in for decades.
When we saw the map of this just close cluster of all these locations where these sexual assaults occurred, and she is almost in the middle, there's too many coincidences for us to believe that it was someone else.
Do you think he had something to do with her case?
I believe he did. I believe he did. I'd like an answer, a definitive answer.
We wanted an answer too. What does Herman Whitfield know about the unsolved murder of Trellis Sykes? This story has taken so many twists and turns, and really what you saw is just the beginning. Right now, we're finishing up an in-depth investigation. It's our latest unsolved episode. You'll be able to watch it wherever you stream. We'll keep you posted. Reporting from Sunnyside, Courtney Fisher, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, it's Thursday, and we got the new drought report out this morning. You go along and north of Interstate 10, not much has changed, but south of Interstate 10, the red area that was around Matagorda Bay, that's the extreme drought area, has lifted a little bit farther to the north and east. Now it covers most of Wharton County, at least the southern half of it, most of Jackson County, all of Matagorda County, and the far western part of Brazoria County is now in extreme drought, which continues to grow. In addition to that, we've got burn bans beginning to flourish in that particular area as well. Wharton, Jackson, and Calhoun counties under the burn ban at this particular time. So we need some rain. We've got to go all the way to parts of Louisiana to find the closest thunderstorm activity to us. It's moving over Baton Rouge. It's about 250 miles away. Across the Midwest, though, and the northern plains, we had a huge outbreak of severe weather today. Some of these thunderstorms earlier this afternoon were moving at a forward speed of 75 to 80 miles per hour. If those thunderstorms put out any wind at all, well, that's an 80+ mile per hour wind gust. And we actually had, of the nearly 300 reports of damaging straight line winds today, 32 of them were wind gusts of more than 80. We haven't had 3 wind gusts over 100 miles per hour. That system is going to stay well to the north of us, but the tail end of it is where a disturbance is located. And we think this area of high pressure aloft, that heat ridge, is going to break down just enough over the weekend, on Saturday in particular, for that disturbance to make it into southeast Texas. And for right now, we've got a 20% rain chance in the forecast for that. 77 is where we are in Houston this evening. Wind coming in from the south at 9. Dew points in the mid-60s, so it feels pretty good outside. 79 in Galveston, dew points in the upper 60s. Temperatures overnight tonight, just like this morning, should fall into the 60s. Most locations away from the coast. About 77 in Galveston. High temperatures for tomorrow, upper 80s and low 90s. Quick look at your future track shows that as we go through tomorrow, we'll be rain-free once again. Then here comes that disturbance on Saturday afternoon. At this time, we've got a 20% chance in, but if we get more confidence that this is going to happen, we may be raising that 20% chance. No rain tomorrow, 20% Saturday. Sunday should be dry, allowing you to view the lunar eclipse Sunday evening. Then we're going to be back to the mid-90s by Monday and Tuesday. We'll be right back.
I want to take you back to the breaking news that led this newscast. Exclusive cell phone video, which captures the moments a suspected killer was seen running away. Deputies believe that he shot and killed an AC repairman. ABC 13's Brianna Connor live now from that scene with an update for us. Brianna?
Yeah, Gina, we're getting a little more clarity about what happened out here, the circumstances surrounding that shooting. There were relatives out here that I spoke with who were not here when the shooting happened, but they were just able to actually go back in with their family members to this house right here, where you see the two cars parked in the parking lot. Now, they had been in communication with their family, and they tell me this AC repairman had just walked up to the house and gotten some information about the job from the homeowner. He was walking back out to his truck that is still out here on the street to get some parts and some tools, and that is when I'm told this shooting happened. So that's raising a lot of questions when it comes to motive. But you do see detectives and their flashlights, even some evidence markers down on the ground by that truck, and that gives us more indication that that is actually where this shooting happened, as he was going to get the tools and parts that he would need to complete this job. Now, eyewitnesses also told me that he ran off in this direction of the neighborhood. I'm told that's a dead end. It actually leads to the toll road, and in front of me is the only way out of this neighborhood. So again, people tell me they are extremely fearful tonight. They don't know where the suspected shooter is. Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies have asked everyone in the Mission Bend community to continue to be on high alert until they can give us some type of update on who this is they're looking for and whether they have been caught. Reporting live in Alief, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
The Texans' schedule is out. There is one date that everyone circles on the calendar tonight. Deshaun Watson will lead the Cleveland Browns into NRG Stadium December the 4th. After 5 seasons in H-Town, 4 when he actually played football, Watson's set to return with his new team and that brand new $230 million contract. Other highlights include the opener against the Colts. Texans, by the way, played just 2 home games the first 7 weeks. Texans take their first trip to Vegas in October. Closing stretch includes a road game against Dallas and a visit from Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Head coach Lovie Smith returning to Chicago to face his former team in Week 3.
A lot of great memories, great friends. I mean, we still have a place, there in Chicago. It'll always be a part of our home. So that'll be a special game for us.
You can catch the Texans' first 2 preseason games right here on ABC 13. 2 good ones against the Saints at home and on the road against the defending Super Bowl champions in L.A. The war of words between the Astros and the Yankees heats up tonight. New York GM Brian Cashman saying comparing the Astros cheating scheme to anybody else is like a parking ticket to maybe 162 felonies. Rookie shortstop Jeremy Pena told reporters the knee issue that forced him out of today's game is nothing serious, just a little discomfort. That's good news, and so is this. Yordan Alvarez goes deep twice in the second game in Minnesota. Astros win 11-3 and 5-0. What's working now is everything, and we'll be right back.
Looking ahead to stories making news in the coming days, Houston's mayor and police chief will be at the White House tomorrow to tell President Biden how COVID dollars helped our city. Mayor Sylvester Turner and Chief Troy Finner will be part of a bigger group of similar leaders from around the nation talking about using those funds for community policing and safety programs.
And if you're a homeowner, you could be paying more this year in the form of property taxes. Monday, May 16th is the deadline to file that protest. If you feel like Harris County overvalued your home, experts say to build your case by documenting everything that's wrong with your house, specifically foundation issues or termite infestation.
Well, I think tomorrow morning is going to be the last morning with that slightly lower humidity. It'll start to build as we head into the weekend. Mild temperatures to start, 67 degrees, a little patchy fog here or there. Then as we go through the day, we'll see temperatures warm into the mid-80s by noon, low 90s by 3. It'll be a lot more humid as we get into Saturday.
All right, we know the humidity is coming one way or the other, right?
It's going to come,
Still early.
Right.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel Live is coming up next. And stay connected with us at abc13.com and our news app.
And join the Eyewitness News team beginning at 4:30 a.m. Thanks for being with us tonight. Good night.